Okay, so as I was saying, I have my phone up in the dash with stickers, basically. This looks a lot more like what a passenger riding with me would see. And there are a lot of little like washes off to the side. I don't know if you can see the incredible view of the mountain in front of me, but I am trying to drive very slow to keep the phone as steady as possible. I have both hands on the wheel, and it's a good thing because it's probably about 150 feet, if not more, down on my left on the driver's side, down into a little canyon. But I feel like this road is very safe, especially if you are paying attention and driving slow enough. And hopefully there won't be anybody behind me anytime soon, because if there is, I am definitely going to pull over because I know I'm not going anywhere near as fast as they would want me to. But I don't know if you can tell, but it is beginning to be golden hour. It's about 6:27 p.m. in Arizona on June 3rd. I feel like Mr. Walsh could have done some things like that for us if he was going to try to tell us when the shadow of Weaver's Needle falls into the mine shaft, and the number of little quail. I don't know if you'll be able to see them all, but God, they're so cute. I'm actually ridiculously impressed with, even for 3 minutes now, the fact that my phone has stayed pretty stable where it is. I actually do want to take this drive kind of slow because, again, it's not going to be as late as I was doing it last night. And I swear to God, this is one of those things where the view, you could do probably a train of cars every 2 or 3 minutes, like once one gets out of the sight of the next one behind, the next one starts. And I guarantee you, every single one of those, for 5 or 15 cars, you would have different and spectacular videos, especially during golden hour. I just cannot with this. It's amazing. This is Tortilla Flat, and I don't understand why it's closed right now. It looks like it would be someplace absolutely fantastic when there's water. I'm gonna go over here a little bit because I don't feel like going over. They have like the traffic calming devices, which are really good. Oh, and actually there's a whole bunch of signs and stuff like Superstition Saloon and a couple other things with the history of the Dutchman's Mine. But I'll have to get those at some other time. But if you go down there, I think there's another marina, more or less, and I'm going to go over also a 1-lane bridge soon, and I'll be able to see a lot of the little boats and stuff that people must keep out here. But oh my gosh, I'm so glad I figured out how to do this with my phone. And yes, like with that sun blinding you right now, guess what? That's what I have while I'm driving. And I did not put my sunglasses on. I should, but it's okay. Now the other thing is that by doing it this way, I can't necessarily show you to the side what I see. Probably good and bad, I'm not sure. But, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Be honest, if I hear the rumble strips from under the driver's side of the car, I'm not really all that worried about it right now, because the driver's side is to the interior of the road, and the passenger side has the drop-offs, and I'm okay staying to the middle. Again, this is a road where you do have to be careful. The lanes are wide enough, but I do want to be able to maintain a distance, sight distance ahead. Wow, that's a pretty rough shot, sorry. But again, that's what the sun looks like right now. And the lake, look at that. I really cannot wait to get home to upload some of this, and I get it. There is going to be some very rough footage as well. I don't know how to edit it all together the way I would like. I may have to have somebody else do that at a later time for me, but I will take what I can get at the moment, just with a cell phone taped to the windshield and dash of my car. Seriously, that's what I have, and that's what's working. Now granted, I can't really listen to music while I'm doing this, but that's okay, because I should A, probably not deafen you if I tried to sing. B, I would probably get in trouble for copyright or whatever, because I have no idea who or what would allow me to have their music in my videos or whatever. But so I just passed mile 212, which is funny because, well, the exit at 17 that you would get off to go to our home right now is 212 as well. And the only reason I remember it is because it's when water boils. Dumb. I get it. And this is bringing me back closer to the Canyon Lake area and the Acacia recreation area that I was just at. And I'm not going to put it on this video, but I have another one. Probably pieced together a whole bunch of little videos that I took at the picnic area. I have an 18-minute video of me holding the phone while I drove from the trailhead. I think it's called the First Water Trailhead, and I'm not really sure yet what that is in reference to, unless it has to do with like when settlers got here and that happened to be the first place they found water. I have no idea. And there goes a little quail across the road. I don't know if you can see it. I love how they run. It's silly. Oh, and one even flew. We actually questioned for quite a while whether or not quail can even fly, because all we ever see is them running on the road. And I'm passing where the paddle wheel dolly does the cruises from. If she's out tonight on a cruise or something. I haven't seen her on the lake, but then again, like to my left, which I can't really show, is beautiful. It looks, oh god, there's a cormorant down there too, and it looks like this beautiful, it's called the Boulder recreation area. A lot of what look like cattails down there, and I guess that's what they are. and like it goes back a little ways, but it's just so pretty. It looks very secluded. I don't know if you can see if you look up above the road, preferably when you're not being blinded by the sun. There are all these, like, they look like little caves, and they likely were at some point. There's Palo Verde, which is where a lot of the boat ramp was. I saw before. I'm not going to go back down there. But yeah, the rock, my understanding is, in the superstitions, a lot of this has been pushed up by volcanoes, you know, centuries and oh my god, millennia ago. And so the formations are just, they're things that we just aren't used to seeing, like back on the East Coast. I think that's what everybody calls Prudential Rock, but I'm not sure. It's kind of funny, but I'll find out later. Yeah, okay, so now I also want to be on the lookout to see if I can see my vultures. And if I do, I may break this video a little, but I want to see the turkey vulture. They were here last night, and it was a little bit later, so maybe, oh yeah, it looks like they're starting to come back in now, but maybe tonight isn't the night to see them, I guess. Very sharp turn, and I have another one going the other direction, and I also have a car behind me, some cars. So as soon as I find another spot to pull off real quick, like this, really quick. Ooh, don't like that. Ugh, but I'm gonna do that really quick so that they can. Okay, and then come back up. I did not like that, doing that, especially not if I just had $3,000 worth of work done on the car. The way the sun hits the water is very pretty right now too. And there are just a lot of cars pulled off to the side where people are, I don't know if they're hiking from there, but you can see some campers around here, like right there, but I don't think they're obviously not camping right there. But there's some gorgeous photo opportunities right in here as well. I'm going to cross the little one-lane bridge that when I first got here, some fool had basically stopped their car at the end, and it was two guys. They were getting out taking all these pictures and stuff when there's this little pull-off right here. I don't know if they didn't know about it or what. And I'm gonna wait here for this person pulling their boat to come across. And there are people down in the little cove area on kayaks and stuff, but the number of these little places where you can pull or to go with your kayak and stuff, I'm pulling off again because I've got somebody right behind me. I've got a couple cars behind me, and my preference, and I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of people who are leaving right now, so my preference is to kind of not be in their way. I just didn't want to be on a curve with somebody pulling a pontoon either, so I just kind of waited a second. Like, I'm looking down on the sides of the canyon as it goes down into the lake, and there's all these little, they've got to be like little caves that animals can live in or something. It's very cool, very cool. of slower now than I did on the way back here while I was holding the phone. But I also had the sun to my back, and it wasn't attempting to blind me. First I thought I saw another crested saguaro, but it's not. It just has a really cute crown. There's like a dirt road or something over there, I'm gonna guess, like for the little side-by-sides and stuff. Okay, actually there is a mailbox, which makes me wonder. So it's 29600 is on there, and I do have another car coming behind me, so in a minute I'm gonna need to pull off, but obviously not quite this minute. It's another couple of the motorcycles, but I don't think you can see them because of the way the phone is tilted. And there's the Vista off to the side, but I don't want to pull over someplace on the left to try and then come back out. So I know there's going to be more places to pull over, and I think it's 2 cars. I just missed one. Here we go. There is another place. I think it's just so hard to see because of the sun right now. It's hard to see, but I've got 2 more cars coming that I'm going to let pass. Oh, there's a third coming. Got it. It's okay. Just kind of startled me because I didn't know they were there, but I didn't pull out in front of them. I was still pretty far back. Sorry, my allergies are not treating me very nicely at the moment. I did take a Zyrtec earlier today, but I don't remember if they're 12-hour or 24. I thought they were 24, but if they're 24, they're sadly lacking. If they're 12-hour, it was a little bit later than 6 o'clock when I took it this morning, but I'm trying to think of what time it would have been. Maybe between 9 and 10. So if it's a 12-hour, we'll cut it a little slack, but you know. And there's somebody else over to the one side as well. And I just moved the phone. And I'm really surprised at how stable I have it right now with these stickers. It just is so silly. Oh my gosh, the view to my left is superb. And of course I can't show it to you. I'm sorry. See, I also need to have I need to do, kind of wish there was a way to have, and maybe somebody knows if this exists. Is there a way that like you could put a camera on some sort of tripod or turn little thing on the outside of your car that turns, and while sitting in the car, say I see something off to the side that I want you guys to see, well, whoever is in my passenger seat would have like a remote or a turn, what do you call it, like a, oh my god, like a control stick or a joystick that could turn it so you could see off to the side but then come back. My guess is it exists. There's no way that I come up with ideas that don't already exist out there. It's just that I don't know what to call them. If I was going to search for them, my guess is they may very well be kind of expensive. You can see the other 3 cars ahead of me. It's like if I were walking it, that would be a good half mile, if not further. And now you're starting to see the full effects of golden hour and the light and how pretty this is. Last night I was driving the other direction. It was a little bit later at night, like maybe a half hour later, so the sun was quite a bit lower, and everything back here looked pink. It was so cool looking. I just wish these wires weren't there. Now that I've figured this out, I have a couple other places I want to go and actually film, but I don't know if I can get anybody to go with me. Some of them are places that I don't know, I've been to, but when I have other people in the car, sometimes I get a little nervous about it as well. So maybe it's best if I just do this kind of stuff myself, but I feel like I need to, in the next day or two, drive down to Saguaro National Park and literally just do a drive through the park and then take Gate Pass Road out the back of it. And here comes a camper with a boat. Hi. And I probably could have made it perfectly safely, but guess who's a chicken? And really, if I was going to get knocked off the road or something, this would be the place to be, because it's like 5 feet off the edge. Unlike some places where back there I was looking at like 200 and 300 feet probably. I'm a terrible estimator. It's probably really only about 50 feet or something. But when you're as afraid of heights as I can be, 50 feet can look like 1,000. I would love to think that I could do like a series of driving videos that people thought were kind of fun to watch and just listen to me babble. And if that's the case, tell me what you want me to babble about, because right now I'm just babbling about anything and everything that comes to my mind, which isn't the worst thing, especially right now. I'm a big fan of rear view mirror pictures, which I think is weird, but I keep looking in my rear view mirror wishing that I had another camera with me or something, so I may have to grab a couple things. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I've got all these amazing ideas. I'm trying to think. I have to look at the mile markers again. I'm trying to figure out how far it is till I get back to, say, the first water, which is where I started the other video from, going the other direction. And I may stop in and see if javelinas are at the park, but I doubt it. I'm sad, because there was an area in the park where I think these volunteers, they probably just get to park their camper there. My guess might be free, I don't know. But I believe it was an older couple, and she had like a bird feeder out, and she had this big, like just a wash basin of some sort, just a big plastic bin of water, and she would feed the javelina carrots. And so I'm not gonna lie, I have done the same thing, but I don't have a camper, and I'm not a park employee or volunteer, although I would love to be. These saguaro, sometimes it looks like you're just about to drive into one. It's kind of crazy, but this is a very, very windy road. I wish I could I was going to pull the thing down and show it on the GPS, but if I can find like a screenshot of it on the maps or whatever, I'll try to insert that at the end, because it's like really, really windy. And again, and I'm not sure if you can tell, but I feel like I'm swinging the wheel to one side, and then almost as soon as I get it straightened back out, I'm swinging it all the way over to the other side. And it's just a good thing I'm not driving really fast, because it could get a little dicey here. And my guess is all those other people who were ahead of me have probably gone pretty darn far. Far ahead of me anyway. And this reminds me to an extent of what 89A south from Flagstaff into Sedona is like, because of all the switchbacks. But I don't think that this, I know that it does not ascend or descend as much as that one does. And I feel like at least on that one, you go a little longer on a straightaway before you start doing the hairpin back and forth. And yeah, like imagine about 3 or 4 S's smushed together and then dropped on a map, and that's kind of what you've got. But especially imagine somebody had written them with a very shaky hand. How's that sound? Okay, so I'm already passing the Needle Vista Viewpoint. So this time it took me about 27 minutes from where I started. But like I said, I'm pretty sure that I was driving a lot slower coming back this direction than I did going the other way. And I only filmed before from the First Water Trailhead to the Acacia Recreation Area. And I had actually gone a fair distance past that, and then I turned around. I didn't go all the way. I mean, God knows I could probably just drive for a full day, and I don't know how much my phone can hold. Once I upload this, I'm going to have to delete it off my phone because there's way too much. It's already 30 minutes, so I don't know. See a boondocking camper there. Boondocking basically is primitive camping, where it's not like in a park, it's not any place that's delineated or actually claimed, I guess. It's usually on like Bureau of Land Management land or wherever. And people do it just because it kind of keeps them away from everybody else, I suppose. And let me see something. Is this where I want to go in? Not yet. Nope, that's Apache Trail. And there's one of the gentlemen on the bikes. I don't know if you could see it earlier as I approached, but he was on this type of like low riding street racing bike that I saw last night, where somebody did a wheelie on one of those curves coming around, and it was kind of crazy, but it was also very impressive. Do at some point want to get, even if it's just a rib or two out of a cactus, like one of the saguaro skeletons. Apparently it is legal if the saguaro is already dead, and especially if the interior woody trunk is already exposed, you can take those. And I've talked to a couple people who've said they have walking sticks made out of those, and it would be so simple. The wood itself feels almost like balsa, or even it's not even bamboo. I'm not sure what other type it is. There's First Water Trailhead, so that's where I started before, and it took me 18 minutes to get from there to the Acacia. And this little bit of it is going to be kind of boring, I think, because I'm going to drive in and see if I can see the Javelina. So, you don't have to watch the rest. I'm just checking things out here. Lost Dutchman State Park. right there. The ranger station, I think, closes in 5 minutes. I have my pass up. There's a fire ban right now, which is not surprising. Okay, so this says, Saguaro Saunter, June 5th at 6:30 a.m. I have to remember that. Saguaro Saunter, June 5th, 6:30 a.m. To look that up. I was just about to say somebody remind me, but that's ridiculous. Sorry for the lack of focus. But there in front of you is one of the more impressive views of the Superstition Mountains. I don't know if you can see or understand why we love them so much, but a lot of people talk about the Red Rocks of Sedona, and we actually love this as much. Somebody at the side taking pictures. I think this is where I usually come in. And off to my right is where we watch some of the quail. And yeah, the javelina used to be back here, but the camper that used to be back there isn't. Just a little drive into one of the little parking areas. You haven't happened to see any of the javelina, have you? You haven't happened to see any javelina, have you? You don't know what javelina are? Oh, they look like almost like little warthogs. But they are here in the park, but the camper where they used to be attracted to is gone. But I was just hoping somebody has seen them. Sorry. That's okay. Not familiar. How can you not know what javelina are? I'm so sad. So sad for him.